We live in a generation that trivializes success. If you don't get it right, you're doing something wrong. You are only limited by the law of process and time. The laws of the universe are so flawless that they will find you with digital precision. If you make a decision today and run to the ends of the earth or hide under a table, the consequence of that decision will follow you and mental judgment. If I take a glass cup now, whatever it is, some glass object, and I throw it on the floor, chances are excellent, 99.9% of the time, it would shatter. I know we are comparing apples to oranges. I cannot possibly streamline all your problems to the shattering of glasses. This kind of examples, the consequences are immediate relative to your situation that takes time, energy, and process. Yeah, there are so many nuances, so many variables in the equation of success. But just to buttress on that point, majority of you are very lazy. Majority of you have zero idea of what you're doing, which is the first thing we are going to talk about: diligence. Diligence in every single thing you're doing. We live in a generation where every single thing is instant gratification, instant food, instant video. Everything is instant. So for a good reason, it's only common sense for you to expect the same of success. You start a business, perhaps you read a book and you are inspired to take action. You start a sandwich business, and for the first month, you ate your sandwich yourself. You get back home frustrated, venting your frustration at God or the author of the book who inspired you to take action. This doesn't work, pointing fingers. But my friend, you forget that every single thing takes process. Even the professionals were once students. There is a room for amateurism in the school of life. So there are some things that takes time. I'm not saying you should be complacent with failure. No. There's a difference between failure as an event and failure as a person. The average man, once he fails, he thinks it's a failure. He sees it as a person. He embodies that failure, not as an event, which is a very stupid way, a very non-competitive way to approach life, because life is hyper-competitive. Majority of you are so lazy, and I understand this YouTube channel is a comprisement, is a combination of very young demographic. So let's take it from the academic standpoint. Majority of you are so lazy that even the things that are free, you cannot qualify for. How many free scholarships are there that for you to take advantage of or to increase your educational qualification? How many free master's degrees programs are available, but you cannot take advantage of it because we are dull? So even the things that are free, you cannot qualify for. Just to sit down and read your books. Now, of course, reading your books or excelling in your studies is not a guarantee that you will be financially successful. But as touching this area, just reading your book to pass an exam for free, you are not qualified. Is it now in the world where every single thing is competed for that you are going to survive? This generation is very lazy. No culture of hard work. Jeff Bezos slept in his office because of hard work. Elon slept in his office. All these billionaires that you guys so revere slept in their office because of hard work. Do you think school is easy? Even billionaires left school, they dropped out. My friend, they dropped out not because of the exams were difficult, but they were excelled. They are past that organization. They were far above excellence. While the school teachers were teaching ancient programming languages, Bill Gates was already designing software that would change the world. So you want him to downgrade or hike down and stay in that class? It's impossible. I've taught you in this house the law of mental transformation, that once you transit beyond a certain echelon, your physical realities would follow suit. Now, where's the first phone you ever bought? Exactly. So as you transited in intellectual capacities, it became inconsistent to still hold that kind of phone. Now, I'm not saying holding an expensive phone is necessarily a proof of transformation, but just as an analogy, where are your old clothes? You can't remember, and it's not as though you gave it out, but that mindset made it inconsistent for you to wear that kind of clothes. I was watching some of my old gym videos, and I saw my appearance, not just in physique, but the kind of clothes I wore to the gym. And honestly speaking, how I transited from that level to the kind of recent gym video I created is totally outstanding. It's not as though I did it deliberately or deliberately went to the store and say I'm going to get these gym clothes for X reason, for X purpose, but it happened so naturally. Now we are diving into something else. The whole point of this is most people in this generation, they lack the culture of hard work. They are not diligent in anything. If you lack this trait of diligence, you cannot qualify. You will be poor. If you're not diligent, there's no rising for you. There's no shortcut. There's nothing you can do if you're not diligent. Diligence or laziness is a quality where even God and Satan cannot use you. It takes diligence to serve the devil. You know the effort it takes to come out by 12 midnight, meet in the road that cross twice, put on a certain kind of clothes, walk with your back turned to the wall. Do you know how diligent it takes? Plus, you would hear in some kind of confession where former Satanists would describe the level of sacrifice, both in fasting, both in prayer, both in some, unfortunately, human rituals. So diligence is required on both spectrums. It is inevitable. The first dimension of diligence we're going to talk about is strategic diligence. Most people think diligence is hard work. It's a very wrong narrative. Diligence is not hard work. I define diligence as the quality of being productive, strategic, persistent, and refusing to bow out in the face of challenges. Notice my choice of words: strategic, productive, and refusing to bow out. What do we mean by strategy? Strategic, most of you are not strategic with your life. Most of you just freelance your way to success and hope it all opens up for you. Hope it all works out fine. It's impossible to live that way and attain success. Now, I want you to look at all the actions you've been undertaking and answer this question. Please hear me out. What are they laddering up to? Pause this video. Ask yourself, all the actions you've been fretting over, saying it's not producing X outcome. Majority of you do not even know the outcome you want to produce, let alone the philosophy behind the actions you undertake. Action in ignorance is only a recipe for disaster. You've been pointing fingers, pissed off. Okay, why do you read books? That's a very good question. Why are you currently watching this video? Majority of you don't know. You just want to reinforce yourself psychologically that you're making progress. But it's like running on a treadmill. You're working hard, but you're getting nowhere. So dissipation of energy is not a guarantee of success. We all hear this statement very often: time is money. But what does that actually mean? Time is money. What does that really mean? In the year 1990, there was no such thing as Facebook. So the event has not been created. Therefore, people could not commit their time to that event. But as soon as the event was created, people committed their time, by extension, their money into that platform. And as you all know, I just stated, time is money. Time either flows in, or where you put your time in, money either flows in or out. In this case, the money is flowing in for Zuckerberg, is flowing out. So until you are valuable and productive, value is not necessarily what you like doing. Value is what people are willing to pay. So the market determines the level of value or how valuable you are. So strive for excellence and competence in every single thing you do. We live in an age of infinite leverage where your actions can be multiplied 1,000 folds. So for every single thing you do, it can be multiplied either through code or media. Think about in the early 1800s, before the advent of cameras, I would have to be in a lecture hall, or there will be audio tapes which were very cumbersome at the time. Plus, I would not be able to reach a lot of people, for instance, but through this media, my actions can be duplicated 1,000 times. Be valuable. We see this in the Olympics, for instance. An athlete who comes first place can scale by centimeters, even what, millimeters, yet the rewards are vastly apart. Gold is very, very different from bronze. I can tell you that for free. We cannot talk about rewards without exploring the field of investing. Who would you rather invest with? A hedge fund manager whose decision is correct 80% of the time, or the other whose decision is right 81% of the time? Exactly. That 1% doesn't make the difference. The 1% is the difference. So we live in an age where being just 1% better gives you all the edge and advantage you need. Still on our point of being strategic with your life, most of you, is there a notebook where you have every single thing detailed, mapped out of what you're going to do with your life? The actions people undertake versus the results they want are vastly disproportional, yet they fret, point fingers, and wonder why they never attain the desired outcome. It's because of this law I share with you, my friend, the law of diligence. Take advantage of it. Majority of people are not accustomed to pain. Majority of people give up at the slightest instance. It was Usain Bolt who said, it took me 4 years, I trained for 4 years to run for 4 seconds. Yes, you give up after 2 months. I remember starting out this channel and I was using a phone, not in the best of condition. I had to clear a lot of storage before I used it. Plus, it was an iPhone from 6 years ago. Look at all the challenges I had to face. Plus, while recording amidst a rant, I had to pray literally that this thing doesn't stop, either because of high temperature or low storage. So amidst all the excuses I could give, disadvantage in all of its ramifications, I still persisted. Even the tripod, I had to stack up a bunch of things and put up the speaker for support so it doesn't fall, lay soft clothes around, so if the support system fails and the phone was to reach the ground, it doesn't smash in the process. But you, given all the advantage and genetic gifts, at the slightest of instant of opposition, you give up. In this world of life, you have to be determined. You have to force life to work. There's such a thing as forcing life to work. You can make it happen with great importunity. Remember the judge who neither feared man or God, and the woman who everybody looked down on, but she still had her needs. She sustained a key that is as old as time, which is the key of importunity, the key of obstinacy, to go at it with a dogged mentality. You see, once you sustain the mindset that you will die rather than not see this desired outcome materialize in your life, guess what happens 99% of the time? You get it. She went on her knees and the man said, I would avenge her adversary, yet unless she troubleth my soul. Until you weary life out, there is no success for you. Take for instance a kid, maybe a 3-year-old child. You push him on the floor, he gets back up. You push him on the floor with tears in his eyes, he gets back up. You keep doing it. It's only a matter of time before you let him be. He comes to you with his tiny feet, beats you a little bit, and he's satisfied. Or you take him to his guardian or his parent or whoever is in charge of that kid. But who won? Exactly. You have to be relentless. With tears in your eyes, refuse to give up. As always, my friends, I hope this helped you a lot. I hope this encouraged you. Don't give up. This is an encouragement for you. It's all going to accumulate to something better. As always, my friends, the pleasure speaking to you. I'll see you next one.